I know that you're someone who has a crazy busy social life because my one-to-one clients are exactly the same. So in today's video, I'm going to be running you through the top things that I do myself, and I also teach my one-to-one clients to stay on track through a busy summer of socializing and still make progress towards their weight loss goals. If you guys are new here, my name is Georgia and I'm a women's online health and fitness coach. I help women step into that ultimate confidence, focusing on their training, nutrition, and building a lifestyle that aligns perfectly with their goals using my Fearless Confidence framework. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back for another video. So like I said, all of the ladies that I work with are extremely busy throughout most of the year, but let's be honest, the summer is, I feel like, when things just ramp up a whole lot more, whether that's bigger plans like bottomless brunches, concerts, weekends away, holidays, or even just ad hoc things that crop up from day to day during the week. Like, let's be honest, when the sun's out, everyone wants to go and sit in a pub garden after work, right? I want you to be able to enjoy those things and still see progress with your fat loss over this summer, rather than going into it thinking, well, it's going to be busy, so I may as well just give up now. I want to show you that you can have both. So in this video, I thought I would go through the top 4 things that you can literally go away and implement this week. So with that being said, let's jump straight into the video with tip number 1, which is planning ahead. If you have watched any of my videos before, you will know that I am a massive advocate for planning ahead of time with a multitude of things. But obviously today's video, we want to talk about specifically planning ahead for those social events. If you watched my video last week on my Sunday reset, you could actually implement this with your Sunday reset and look at your calendar for the coming week and look at when you have plans coming in and how you can then work around them. And if you haven't watched my Sunday reset video, make sure you go and hit watch after this one, because it is honestly full of gold that you can once again go and implement straight away to make your life so much easier, so that you can go into every week feeling ultra organized to smash your goals. But anyway, back to the social events. With regards to planning ahead, what I mean is that you want to organize your week around those social events. So say, for example, you have a weekend away or like some bigger events coming up. I don't know, maybe hen do's, I feel like there's lots of those floating around at the moment, or like a bottomless brunch, something that's a set menu, so you know you're going to be having multiple courses, like something that you know is going to be pretty calorific. What I want you to do is probably look at doing some calorie banking around that. Now what that means is you're going to pull your current calorie total down by anywhere between 100 to 200 calories per day, depending on where your calories are currently at. Obviously we don't want to be over restricting to a point where you are super hungry. But what this does, even if you can calorie bank from say Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday, that gives you 4 to 5 days where you can pull those calories back and save anywhere between 400 to literally 1,000 extra calories that you can then have to give you a little bit of a buffer as you go into the weekend. So for this, I really want you to look at your calories as a net total across the week rather than a day-to-day total. So if we can still hit your net total for your deficit, this is going to put you in a really good stead. The other thing that you can do to plan around your social events is calorie cycling. Now this happens a little bit more immediately around that event. This is good for maybe smaller things where you can just know that you can go into it and make some really good choices to be as on track as possible, or even things that come up last minute, because let's be honest, that happens to the best of us and we can't always be super proactive around these things. So what calorie cycling is manipulating that day around that event. So say, for example, you are in the office and a colleague asks you to go out for lunch last minute, but you only find out that morning. Can you pull the calories for your breakfast and dinner down very slightly to make a little bit more room for what is probably going to be a little bit of a higher calorie lunch? The same goes for maybe if you're going out for a breakfast date with some of your friends on the weekend, have your breakfast out and then have a lighter lunch and dinner. And obviously if you were going out for a dinner in the evening, you could have a lighter breakfast and a lighter lunch, and then that gives you a little bit of extra wiggle room for that meal out. Once we've planned around these events as much as possible, I want you to look at how you can make decisions ahead of time. Quite often when we're faced with a massive menu of food, other people may be choosing things that aren't necessarily in alignment with your goals, that decision fatigue sets in, and we can make decisions that don't necessarily align with what we want long term, which can lead us to feel like we've cut ourselves short in the long run. So what we want to do is just cut that decision making in the moment completely out of the equation. So you're going to make that decision ahead of time. You can do this with drinks, you can do this with food, literally everything. So a big thing that really helps with this is checking your menus ahead of time, and I will always get my clients to send me any menu so we can look at multiple options that would be just better options to pick and more in alignment with their goals. As well as choosing what you're going to eat, you can choose how many courses you're going to have, if you're going to have sides, and also what you're going to drink as well. So literally everything is accounted for, and you don't have to do any thinking in the moment. You don't have to worry about feeling overwhelmed. You can literally just go in, know what you're going to order, know that you can still enjoy it, know that you're in alignment with your goals, and feel so much better for it as well. Tip number 3 is going to take this kind of to the next level. Now, I touched on obviously choosing what you're going to drink ahead of time, but I want you to get ultra clear on all the aspects of what you're drinking whilst you're out, especially if alcohol is coming into the equation, which once again is definitely not off limits around here. Most of my clients drink alcohol, some choose not to, and that's completely up to them. And I want to help support them regardless of what they want to do throughout their journey. So for tip number 3, as well as choosing what you want to drink, I want you to think about the quantities in which you are drinking that drink. So it's very easy to say, oh, I'm just going to stick to a gin and slimline tonic, or I'm just going to stick to Prosecco because they're a little bit lower in calorie, but then you smash out 2 bottles of Prosecco, which probably isn't in alignment with your goals, and is probably going to leave you feeling really rubbish the following day, let's be honest. So once again, being reasonable with how many drinks you have. Now, this is very much a process. It's not something that's going to change overnight. If you are currently someone who does struggle with knowing their limits with alcohol, what I want you to do is first of all start by going out, knowing what you're going to drink, and actually just observing how many drinks you have. Then the following time that you go out, could you then just take 1 or 2 drinks off of that and gradually work down until we're maybe having like 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 drinks, where we can just be a whole lot more mindful, and you'll probably find actually you'll enjoy yourself way more because you'll be a whole lot more present and you'll feel so much better for it the following day, and you won't have broken the calorie bank. So it's literally wins across the board. And this is a process that I went through a few years ago as well. As someone who used to drink a lot more than I do now, I'm now so much more mindful over how much alcohol I consume, and my relationship with it is so much better because I have gone through this process and because I've practiced this technique. And something that also helps me personally and my one-to-one clients as well is alternating your alcoholic drink with a soft drink or water. I personally love water. My water is literally sat here with me right now while I'm filming this. It doesn't really leave my side. But instead of having a water, you could have something like an elderflower and soda. You could have just a Diet Coke, literally whatever you fancy. And that also helps to kind of create a buffer in between how many drinks you're having, and it naturally just fills you up a little bit more. Plus, if you're someone who's already drinking something like a rum and coke, having a Diet Coke on its own instead of a rum and Diet Coke, nobody's going to notice the difference. And for the last tip, I want to talk about the other elements of your health and fitness around your social events. Again, like I said earlier, it's very easy to have this kind of like all in or all out mentality where you're like, well, I'm going out today, so there's no point in doing anything else that's going to push me closer to my goals. So I want you to get really clear on what your non-negotiables are around that social event. If you have a super social weekend, could it be that you say to yourself, no matter what, I'm going to make sure I still tick my steps off on both of those days this weekend, even though I know that I'm eating out both days and my calories are going to be a little bit higher? Could it be that you plan ahead and you get all of your training done during the week so that you have the weekend free to enjoy your social events? Or you might want to make sure that you've drunk 2 litres of water before you go out that evening so that you know you have well hydrated and that you're also in alignment with that target. When we've got other things coming into play around your goals, it's very easy to kind of forget about those other small things that you can be doing to still support your goals long term around your social events. So decide what your non-negotiables are. It might not be that you hit absolutely everything around that. That might not be viable time-wise, and that's totally fine. But being realistic on where you can still show up for yourself and for your goals around that social event, again, just creates that environment where you know that you're going to make better choices in the moment because you've also shown up and made good choices around your training, around your lifestyle, around, your nutrition throughout the rest of the day, for example. So in summary, the 4 things that I want you to focus on to make sure that you can enjoy your social summer and also see progress are planning ahead and organizing your day or week around those events, making decisions ahead of time rather than panicking in the moment, getting ultra clear on what you're going to drink and how much, and also setting some other non-negotiables around your social events to keep you on track and keep your momentum going long term. Like I said at the beginning of this video, these are literally 4 things that you can go and implement today, this week, with complete ease. And they're the exact things that I do myself and I teach my one-to-one clients to do around their busy lifestyle so that they can still see incredible results in the long term. If you want some more information on how I work as a one-to-one coach, what I will do is drop my one-to-one application form down below. Fill this out, and if we are a good fit to work together, I will drop you a message. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one.